I'm Jennifer Thompson, and this is another episode of Thompson's Gym. We're in the office today. I'm going to talk to you about how to pick your numbers when you're practicing your singles and how to pick your numbers in competition. I've had a few people ask me to do, explain how I do mine. And you can see if it'll work for you. So when we do working out for training for a competition, we do a heavy week and a speed week. I have these programs listed on my website. I'll link it below. It's 132poundsofpower.com. Side note, that used to be my weight class, 132. I never changed my website. So we work out on an 8-day cycle. So we'll do a speed week, which we call week, which is really set 8 days. We'll do a squat bench, take 2 days off, try shoulders, deadlift, take 2 days off. And then we'll switch to a speed or a heavy week where we'll again do squat bench, but in our heavy exercises, take 2 days off, do the tri shoulders and the deadlift, take 2 days off, and then switch back to speed. On our speed week, we practice hitting our max lifts. So we'll do our normal warm-ups, and we do this for squat and bench. We don't do it on deadlift. So we'll get through our warm-ups, and then I'll have 3 heavy singles I want to hit that day. And I look at where my competition is, and I walk back each week what numbers I want to hit, and I'll explain that in a minute. So on that day, I'm going to do 3 singles, the last single being the max single. So the first single I'm going to do, it's going to be 85% of the last one. And so basically, if I wanted to do 295 for that day for my max lift bench press, I would do 85% of my first lift for that. And so when we do a single, you'll see in the video later on, we take it out, take it down, get the pause command, press it, done. And then we'll each go through, and then our second single will be 95% of the max lift that day. And so same thing, and then the last one I would actually hit the 295. This is something that we've been doing for a very long time. We're doing it for several years. It works really great for us. I'll explain why it's really good in competition. But this 85, 95, 100% is something that is a great percentage because the first one is nice and easy and you smoke it. The second one is pretty close to your max, but something you know you can get. And the last one is max effort. So I'm going to show you how our little spreadsheet that we made here works. So this is a spreadsheet that Donovan made on our computer. I will try to link it if I can find it on our computer. But basically, we just use this to do quick math. As I was saying, I'm going to try 295 single today for bench press. So these are all percentages at the top. We do other workouts where we do different percentages, working our way down if we're going to do what we call an escalation day, things like that. So 295 is what I want to hit in my workout today. So 85% of that is 250. So my first single I'm going to hit is 250. Then my second single will be 280, and then I'll smoke up 295. And so basically we just have this cute little chart that makes math easy. You can always use your calculator. So the next thing people always ask me is, how do you know which day to do which singles? So basically what I do is I take my calendar and write it out. And so basically this is February. This is the Arnold Classic. On this day, I'm going to lift in on the Rogue stage in the Expo for the 3 lift in the morning, and then I'm going to hit the SSP Raw Challenge bench press on the Rogue stage in the Expo in the afternoon. So I'm very excited. So when I'm working out my singles, I went back and looked at what I want to do on this day at the Arnold Classic. So this is going to be tough for me, but I put it in there because I think it's within my wheelhouse. A bench of 320 and a squat of 335. So this is what I want to do that day. So from here, what I do is what I walk back my singles. So I'm going to work backwards here. These are my speed bench and my speed deadlift days. So my squat, I want to hit 330. So on this day, I want to hit for my max lift, my squat day, I want to hit 335. So on this day, I'm going to try to hit 330. For my max lift that day. And on my bench day, I'm going to go 5 pounds down from 320, so I'm going to hit 315 on this workout before the Arnold. So then I keep going backwards. These are my heavy weeks. I do heavy holds on these weeks. I don't do singles. I'll link a video to heavy holds if you like. And then my next speed workout is here. So before that, I did 330 squat. So on this speed day, I'm going to hit 325 for my squat. And I hit 315 here, so I'm going to work it back to 310 for my single that day. So then I keep going back. Here's a heavy week. Here comes January. And that was that same heavy week. So here's my next speed week. So my squats, I did 325 here. So on this speed day, I'm going to hit 320 on my squat. And I'm going to hit 305 on my bench. So then again, I go through and I have heavy week. Here's my next speed week here. So on this leg day, I hit 315, 320 here. My max single is going to be 315 here for squat. And for here, I did 305 bench. So my max bench here is going to be 295. I usually make a 10-pound jump the very first 2 weeks because this week is usually just getting back into it. You're a little slow. But because I've had this heavy week, I've caught up, and then I start doing 5 pound jumps after that on the bench. So basically that's how we walk it back. What I'll do is I have those numbers. So like my workout that you're going to see on this workout, I'm going to do 295. But it's my very first workout getting back ready for the Arnold. So if I smoke that, no problem. I may go for a fourth and maybe hit 300 or a 305, and then I'll adjust these numbers up a little bit. Often too, like if I miss a number or if I know a number was really kind of tough, I'll jump by 2.5 pounds instead of 5 pounds each time. But mostly on the bench, not on the squat. The bench is smaller muscle group, so it's a little bit harder to make bigger changes on that group. So often if I'm struggling or if it's a little bit slow, I'll adjust these numbers. I might adjust it up or down by 2.5 pounds. So that's what we do on this workout. Then I also stick with the same plan when I'm picking my numbers for a competition. So for my bench press, when I'm on the SSP Pro Raw Challenge, my ultimate goal is to hit 320 on my third single, or my third lift. So if I'm doing my 85, 95, 100% rule, I should open up with 272.5 on my first opener. However, I often, almost always open with 276. There's 2 reasons for that. One, it's double body weight, so it's kind of a cool number to start with. 2, when you get to 276, 2 red plates go on there. So that's often quite a bit more than the female before me, so it gives me a little extra time for weight change. Plus it just looks cool. So this is not ironclad. Just because it says 85% of 320 is 272.5, that doesn't mean I have to hit that. That means that's the range I want to hit. So I usually hit 276, and I do it because I can hit it fast, it feels good, and it's a great indicator of what I got on my second. So really, you want to take in a lot of things into consideration on that competition day. But your opener should be a no-brainer. It should be one that's out there. I always consider it my last warm-up. It's one it's my heavy last warm-up. I'm going to smoke it. I'm going to have good speed. It's going to get me out on the platform, get me kind of into the situation. It's just a good opener. Now the second one's a little bit different. The second one is 95% of my max. So it's not that far off, but it's always a number I know I can hit. But it's a number that's going to tell me what I have left. So 95% of 320 is 305. Well, in competition, we're doing kilos, right? So in kilos, I'll have the choice of going 303 or 308. So what I'm going to do in that situation is kind of analyze how that 276 felt on the first one. If that was so easy and I'm feeling great, I'm feeling hydrated, I got a good night's sleep, the crowd is going, the crowd is pumping, I'm feeling awesome, I'm going to hit that 308 on my second. I know I got that. However, if things happen, like you had flight delays, you got stuck in traffic, you didn't sleep well, you were nervous, your dieting, it didn't go well, you can tell when things aren't lined up great. I'm going to be conservative and go for that 303 on my second. So then that leaves you to your last. So that's going to depend on how that 303 or 308 felt. The reason I love the 95% is because it's what we call the risk of miss. It is a really good risk of miss so that if you miss your third one, you don't risk very much because your second one was so high. So if I go 308 on my second attempt at the Arnold and I feel fantastic, the next, I said 320 was my max, it's going to be 319 in kilos. I might go for that 319 because I have a 308 on the board. So if I miss it, not missing that much. However, if I would have had a 303 on the board, I would never go for the 319 because if I miss that, I'm left with 303, which is 16 pounds off of what I could have got. So you have to evaluate the risk of miss. You have to evaluate how you feel that day, and you have to use these numbers and you have to tweak them based on the numbers and your risk of miss. So I feel like I'm always doing really well competition-wise because I always have a really great idea of what I have in the tank that day. Some people would call this shocking the neuro. And we have our funny t-shirts because we sort of make fun of that. Shocking your neuro is when you do something that is something your body's not used to, and then it has a hard time recovering from that. We've been doing these numbers for years, and we do them in practice before the meet. So it's not shocking your neuro. You're doing something your body is very familiar with, and because you're so fine-tuned to this type of lifting, it's like a cheat. It's because you know going there, you can make such good decisions about what your numbers are based on how you feel, and your risk of miss is so low between the 95 and the 100%. So that's how we do it here at Thompson's Gym. You can give it a try. So now you get to watch the workout and see how this went. Enjoy.
Let's nail this royalty free motherfucker.
just want you to tell me